This is Roger Struckoff with Syscon TV at Cloud Expo East in New York. We're already in day two. In fact, we're nearing the end of day two. Not that that really matters if you're watching on YouTube, but that's what we're doing in the year 2015. And right now I'm sitting with Dhiraj Sehgal from PLUMgrid. He wants to talk about Docker. He wants to talk about some software-defined stuff, so we're going to let him do it. Thank you for joining us. And tell us about PLUMgrid a little bit and what you do and why it's important.
Okay. Hey guys, first of all, thanks to Syscon and the Cloud Expo team. It's a wonderful show, a lot of knowledge gathering and a lot of learning about what are the new things going on specifically towards the DevOps, Internet of Things, and the Docker and the container and how people are looking to consume the infrastructure as code. So for PLUMgrid, we basically see all these trends coming to us, and the reason being it's because of the network. As you look at, the people are now want to keep their infrastructure agile, scalable, right, and built in on a cloud basis, in which you need the virtual network. So PLUMgrid is a software-defined networking company where we provide virtual network infrastructure, which basically plugs into any of the frameworks you are using in regards to OpenStack. So it can be Arduino, ROS, or any one of them. And then people have different environments, right? ESXi, Docker containers, right? And KVM within the OpenStack or not. And then how do you create infrastructure which basically seamlessly flows between all these environments and keep your solution scalable and also secure. So security is another big thing in all this, that all the type of attacks or intrusions which happen is through the networks, right? So you create your own specific domains, which we call as virtual domains. A pretty neat concept. That's what I would like to emphasize here in regards to how do you create your isolated network for each workload or I will say your application, and then have a specific virtual network functions tied to them, and then have security policies so that if your app A has customers and database according to one specific policies and work, basically that's what they are able to access through and no one else goes through it, right? And if something bad goes through it, then you don't need to disrupt whole of your network, right? So you just basically turn off that virtual domain and then everything remains intact, right? And also, like, if the underlying hardware, which is basically x86 commodity hardware, so PLUMgrid ONS, our solution, is only software defined, right? Yeah. So we don't use any, we don't have any custom hardware or anything like that. So you are basically running the ONS on x86 servers where you're running your computes, your controllers, the software and whatnot. So it's basically a substantial cost savings from that side. And we are basically be able to integrate into all these Chef, Puppet, and Ansible playbooks. We are already on the Juju marketplace. Not there, but we are in process where you will see. So all those playbooks are coming together. So our software-defined networking is basically I will say true cloud-focused solution in which you can have containers, you can have KVM, you can have your OpenStack, and then create your virtual network infrastructure according to whatever you want in programmable way, on demand, scalable, right? And you don't need to worry about like instant hands-on. So we have seen the things which people used to take about hours or months and weeks to do, now with the our SDN solution, they're able to do within minutes or so. People have been able to do the provisioning time for network, which is the biggest bottleneck if you ask us. And we have seen it with the people who are using infrastructure as service go down from weeks and months to minutes. And then they are able to pick up all the applications and replicate those virtual domains. So you don't need to go and reconfigure everything, but just have a programmable script or something and just replicate it across the board, and that's pretty much it. So definitely I'll say visit and check out the plumgrid.com, and you'll learn a lot more about virtual domains, about the VNI and our solution. And also I'll say if interested in Docker, we have white papers, everything, but recently in OpenStack Vancouver, we did a session there, which was basically had a registration of like 700 attendees. And on the VNI, we did a hands-on lab which was approximately 300 attendees there too. So if you're building your infrastructure for the next wave of things which are going to happen in regards to software as a code or a software as service to consume for your internal developers or your PaaS platform, whatnot, and you need a true SDN which is open and can leverage your existing security frameworks or policies or firewalls. So you can basically learn more about that going to our sessions and videos and then talking to us on plumgrid.com.
There you have it. Are you reaching out more to developers or ops? I mean, when you talk about
DevOps.
DevOps, but is it the developer side or the ops side?
I will say ops side,
Oh, okay.
but definitely those ops have worked with developers quite a good amount, that they understand the needs of developers and basically have gone from creating a siloed traditional IT into a cloud-based infrastructure, and that's where we fit. So if they are doing any greenfield deployments on the new DevOps style of work, I will say we are a solution to look at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. We've been sitting here for a few minutes with Dhiraj Sehgal from PLUMgrid. Thank you much for joining us. Thank you for watching. For Syscon TV, this is Roger Struckhoff.